Welcome everyone back to the channel. We just got back from the Cresa Spring Summit. I got to step in for Blake St. Onge on our panel to present on our social media tactic with Gregg Cohen out of New York and Ted Liles out of Phoenix, and learned a lot from them.
It's Gregg Cohen. I'm back here in New York after a great annual conference for Cresa in Las Vegas. I was on a panel with Ted and Kelsey talking about the importance of social media and building a brand. The three big takeaways from me were: 1, really just get started. 2, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And 3, while it may take time and it's an investment of your time, you're going to see massive dividends, and the reach that you'll have from social media will be above and beyond any of your expectations over time.
Ted Liles here, your relentless occupier advocate with Cresa and the Liles Industrial team. As it relates to social media, understand that it is the most efficient way to get your brand out to a greater audience. And it's a great way for people to understand really what it is that we do and create relevance for you in the marketplace. So if you're not doing that, or at least starting that process now, understand that in a couple of years from now, when everybody else catches on, you're going to be at a disadvantage.
One of the things I learned is that both of them share a lot about themselves. Gregg does a lot of around the city, like, oh, I had pizza here, and shout out to this business, and just giving recommendations and stuff like that. It was cool to see their stuff.
I think the big thing about social media and video, I mean, we started video 5 months ago. We've got nearly 70 videos on our YouTube channel that are of various things about individuals and bios and everything. But I think the biggest thing is, how do people consume content? How do I consume content as a viewer? Yeah, I can read things, but it's hard to read 4 or 5 paragraphs of something and invest in that. I like to watch videos, but sometimes it can be challenging to watch 10-minute videos depending on what they are.
I'm a big fan of Instagram because that's just instantaneous, and like a photo or a video that can be a short clip showing the commercial real estate that we have in Portland, like nice spaces. I just love that stuff. Yeah. So I think originally when we started with the Instagram, it was kind of with that sort of stuff in mind. We follow most of the brokers in our community. Just kind of fun to see their lives and what they're doing at work, what they're posting.
And we sort of focused on Instagram and LinkedIn as the 2 areas, and LinkedIn is more sort of the business and professional content driven pieces, but we're taking things from Instagram. And Instagram is more about the culture content and what we're doing from the culture side. Different platforms, and some things we borrow from both. We got involved in doing video the early part of 2022. So we got connected with an incredible video producer, Will, who's doing all the things that you're seeing on YouTube. And first kickoff was our 2022 kickoff in January, where Will came in and did the video of it. But right now, so we, once a week, we typically do, like we're doing now, there's several cameras in here. We've got a big light that's showing on us and that sort of thing. And so we're figuring out what that, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable in big light. Will will go, we'll do the shooting, and then Will go back in his bat cave and like just crush the edit situation. Mark joined us in early 2022, just like Will. They have got a chance to work together, and they were also in Vegas together.
The social media to me was really great to see, just because I have a point of view on how social media is run, and I really kind of take that strategy and implement it here. I've taken that from my experience working with big companies, small companies, medium companies, with companies that really value social media, companies that don't really value social media. But social media overall, it's not an easy thing to do. Like, you can edit things and make things look great like he does. It doesn't matter how good you are behind the camera, as long as you're putting the effort in to give good content. An editor can be a magician and make anything look great. As long as you have a point of view of where you're going when you're speaking, the more you speak, the more he has to work with. The more he has to work with, the better the content's gonna be.
Right, yeah.
And I think that's where you truly see how talented someone like this is.
And then an ode to Will.
Will, I love you, Will, and never leave us.
Never leave me.
Having people that know what they're doing in marketing, that understand 2 things, the consumer and your objective, it'll go a far way. Yeah. Because like I said, a lot of the questions we got at the summit were like, how do you get your followers up? And like, what are the numbers? I'm like, to me, like, the numbers don't count. They don't matter, because as long as you have a crowd that you're engaged with and a crowd that you really want to talk to, you're doing your job.
Part of the doing the video stuff, honestly, and the social media thing too, is like, it may not seem like it on the surface, but it is. It's a team builder.
You're trying to create a cool culture that people want to be a part of, and people see it.
Commercial real estate traditionally has been a dog-eat-dog, fight-it-all-out industry, and it still is to a big degree. We obviously believe that Cresa is different in that, and the way that we collaborate across our offices. But even internally, I mean, you can see our office, there's no closed doors. We have a very open and engaging environment and company and culture and feel. So like, we're not competing. It's hard enough to compete externally. There's no reason to compete internally, and there's a lot of companies out there that do have that internal competition. So that's partly also part of the video piece too, is like to show the genuine and realness of the team, the realness of our office, the realness of what it's like to be here. Because again, like that's a big part of recruitment and bringing, the right people, to the table. A big thanks to Gregg Cohen and Ted Liles for contributing to the content of this video. I mean, you can follow them somewhere on the page that we'll put it somewhere. But they added, great content in Vegas, and we continue to follow them. We're huge fans and supporters of both of them. And if any of the things that we sort of shared today are interesting to you, to learn about the process that we're going in, we're learning in the wild, as Will said, which I think is an awesome visual. Let us know. Subscribe, send us some DMs, follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn. We'd love to hear from you.